Hi, everyone. My name is Praveen Neppalli Naga, and I'm the CTO of Mobility and Delivery at Uber. I'm excited to be part of the StarTree Real-Time Analytics Summit, and I've been a big fan of the summit over the years. And today, I'm here to talk about Uber's marketplace, AVs, and how AVs are shaping our Uber marketplace. First, I want to talk about how our tech has evolved over the last 10 years. 10 years ago, all we had was Uber Black and Uber X, and then we had different modes of transportations like reserve, airport, hailables with taxis, and shared with Uber Pool and Shuttle and Teens and so forth. And with the earners, we are also not just dealing with the IC earners, but also added fleets into the ecosystem and also AVs nowadays. And on the delivery side, we started off with food delivery. Then we added groceries, alcohol, and then retails and so forth. And then we also had to evolve our tech to not just support our consumers, but also enterprises. Now, our mission at Uber is go anywhere, that is with mobility, and get anything with delivery and freight. We operate in 70 plus countries, 10,000 plus cities, and 33 million trips a day. And we recently hit million concurrent trips. And for all the engineers here, you know the bottleneck is concurrency. And with 1 million concurrent trips, you can imagine the fan out that we have inside the systems. And we support 8 million earners. These are the earners who are coming to our platform to earn money. And then we have about 170 plus consumers on our platform. Now, Uber is the epitome of a real-time network. Just think about it. Like when you push that button, a lot of things have to happen. We connect the physical world and the digital world. Just imagine when you push that button, you have to make 2 or more people meet each other in the middle of the road, around the world, and all this in real time. And all this has to be safe. And we support about, as I said, 8 million plus earners who come to our platform to earn. And all this has to happen in real time. And this is where the real-time data becomes extremely critical for us. Now, you guys might have seen this chart before, right? This talks about the time value of data and how the value of data decays over time. And at Uber, each of these cohorts of the freshness of data means a lot of value for us, which is about in the real-time world, you can think every event that comes in when the trip is happening is important. Think of safety. And in terms of seconds, the ETAs that the cars around you that determines the pricing and matching is extremely critical for us. And in minutes, we are able to determine the marketplace conditions in a given geo, whether it's undersupplied or oversupplied, and we aggregate the data. And then when you go past days, it's historical data to personalize and feed that into our model to build better products for you. And we use different technologies to serve each of these needs, as you can see on the right side. Now, as with any other company, we use the data insights to help shape our product roadmap. We use the data insights to define and hypothesis on the products, and we run hundreds of experiments, and then fine-tune them and iterate over them, and then finally decide to launch, or we might not launch certain features. On the right side, you see an example, a simple example of badging in the product selector. Just by putting faster as a badge helps conversions. And that is real-time data. And then we tried out different other badgings like popular when you travel, and then curbside in airports as such. Now, for the faster, there needs to be a real-time information of ETAs around you. And for the popular, we go to the historical data to understand what kind of modes of transportations are popular in certain areas and so forth. Now, I'm going to give you a peek into a couple of platforms that uses the real-time data to help shape our marketplace. The first one, what we call as marketplace indexing platform, where we index the drivers, couriers, and the trips that are happening in real time. All this has to happen in seconds when the locations are changing. And our matching platform, which has very complex algorithms and models that are built in, queries this to be able to build global plans and to make the efficacy of the matching pretty good. And the next one is about mapping, right? Mapping is a very core to our products, and it's like a fabric to the whole product experience. And one of the aspects of mapping is ETAs, which defines how our matching and pricing is going to work and how we're going to route as well. And this, we have built a deep ETA model to able to take the historical data with routing and also take the real-time traffic conditions and the road conditions the drivers input into the driver app. And we built this model to help shape our matching and marketplace. Now, I gave you a sneak peek of these two platforms of the hundreds we have. But none of this is possible without the underlying data, right? We ingest about 8 trillion Kafka events per day. And our data lake is about 900 petabytes, closing in on the exabyte. And all these are inputs into our models. And then Pinot is our real-time analytics infrastructure. We serve about 200 million queries per day. That's pretty big. Now, this slide gives you an overview of our data ecosystem at Uber. On the left side, you see all the data inputs from our mobile app, sensory and telemetry, and backend systems and third-party software that we use. All this flows into Kafka, and then we use stream processing and store in Pinot to be able to derive real-time insights and make real-time product decisions. And the data also is ingested into our data lake with Hudi, which provides real-time ingestion and transactional database as such. And then all this data is used to build our models, and also we use different types of visualizations to be able to visualize this data. Now I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about how AVs are coming into our ecosystem and how we are building a hybrid marketplace with AVs and human drivers. So here's how we look at the future of mobility at Uber. There is heterogeneous supply and there is heterogeneous demand. On the supply side, it's about our UberX and Uber Black, and also taxis and AVs, that is autonomous vehicles, and Uber Motos and so forth, right? On the heterogeneous demand side, which is, again, about P2P cars with Uber Black and UberX, but also sharing, which is our Uber Pools and Uber Shuttle with buses that we do around the world. And you're also able to reserve a car and also do teens, that is, you're able to reserve and get a car for your teens. And we have to build our Uber marketplace to stitch all this together. So that's how we view the future of marketplace at Uber. Now, I'll give you an idea of some things. Like in this screen, you can actually see the demand patterns for a particular city at Uber, right? Now, and also varies per day. There is peaks and troughs. Now, if you have a fixed supply provider in AV, if you provision for the peak, then you'll be underutilized for the troughs, and the vice versa as such. And here's where Uber can come in with a hybrid marketplace with our flexible human drivers to match with AVs to be able to meet the demand and make an economic sense. And here is another slide with some data that is not just about days and weeks, but this pattern actually goes for the whole year as seasonality, right? And the left side is where a peak demand pattern during December, and you see it doesn't come back until March. And the right side, you see that what comes in one of the cities, the peak in March doesn't come back until October. And again, a fixed asset provider, if they provision for the March, they're not getting their asset utilized until October. And again, here's where we believe Uber can play a big role in this hybrid marketplace, bringing in our flexible human drivers and make economic sense for all the AV providers. And we actually work with 14 different AV providers around the world, right? We launched with Waymo in Austin and pretty soon in Atlanta. And we already do tens of thousands of trips with these partners. Now, at Uber, for this future of mobility marketplace that we talked about, we view it from 3 different pillars. One is we need to build this hybrid marketplace that we talked about. The second is about building the platform, the fleet management. Right? All these AV providers need to be able to manage their cars and the utilization of the cars, being able to look at in real time and also maximize the utilization. And on the right side is the experience. The riders are not going to be knowing whether you're going to get an AV or a regular car as such. We provide a seamless experience, which I'll talk about. Now, here's an example of our hybrid marketplace problem that we are solving. On the left side, you see that we have our AVs and human drivers in the ecosystem with different ETAs. And on the right side, you can actually see that our AVs are operate only in certain corridors. Right now, if you see that red dot is where a demand came up, and we are able to determine with our hybrid marketplace the right car to dispatch. And in this case, we chose the green dot, right, to be able to dispatch. So you don't have to walk multiple blocks to get to your car. And we already work with several fleet operators around the world, right? And it is about managing their fleets, providing real-time information into their utilization of the cars, and then positioning the cars for max utilization. And with EVs, it becomes even more interesting where you're able to ingest the charging information from the cars and doing the right matching for the trips. And then routing the cars to the right charging stations to be able to charge it up and get ready for the next trips. So this whole fleet management is our secret sauce. And as I told in the rider experience, on the left, you can see that when we match you with an AV, we first ask the rider if they're okay to take an AV. Some riders might not be okay, and a lot of riders, we hope is a lot of riders will be okay with it. And then once they choose, you're able to unlock the car, open the trunk, and do all the operations from our favorite Uber app. And then once you finish the trip, you're able to rate the trip. Now, the future of mobility, the way we look at it is electric. That is the sustainability and all the fleet managements and using the charging and charging infrastructure that we talked about. The second is shared. As I talked about, we have over 170 plus consumers, a million consumers. For us to hit billions, it's going to be about low-cost products, and shared is the way for us to go. And we believe autonomous is going to play a critical role in this whole ecosystem. And the last thing I want to say is we have worked hard to build this tech, right, that enables all these Uber marketplaces. And we benefited a lot from this tech community like you all, and openly sharing ideas and so forth. And we want to continue that. And for that, thank you so much. And I invite all of you guys to stay in touch, follow our LinkedIn and X and our blog as well. Thank you.